The oceans are rising. This is not just a phenomenon observed in isolated incidents, it is a global crisis unfolding before our eyes. This is not a prediction, it is our present reality. Coastal cities, once bustling with life and activity, are now facing the relentless advance of the sea. All around the world, coastal cities are facing an unprecedented threat from the encroaching sea. From New York to Tokyo, from Sydney to Rio de Janeiro, no coastal city is immune. Miami, Shanghai, Venice, and countless others are grappling with increasingly frequent floods and storm surges. These cities, known for their cultural and economic significance, are now on the front lines of climate change. The very existence of these vibrant hubs of human civilization is in jeopardy. The evidence is undeniable. Streets that were once dry are now rivers, and buildings that stood tall are now vulnerable to the relentless force of water. Sea levels are rising at an alarming rate, and the pace is accelerating. The data is clear. Over the past century, sea levels have risen by about 8 inches, and the rate of rise is increasing. Scientists warn that if we fail to act decisively, we risk losing not just stretches of coastline, but entire cities beneath the waves. Projections indicate that by the end of this century, sea levels could rise by several feet, submerging vast areas of land. The consequences for humanity would be catastrophic. Millions of people would be displaced, leading to a humanitarian crisis of unprecedented scale. Infrastructure, homes and livelihoods would be lost. This is not a distant threat, it is happening now. Every year we witness more frequent and severe flooding events, each one a stark reminder of the urgency of the situation. Consider the case of Venice, a city built on a lagoon and long vulnerable to the sea. Venice, with its intricate network of canals and historic architecture, is a symbol of human ingenuity and resilience. Flooding, once a seasonal occurrence, is now a regular threat, with high tides inundating homes, businesses and historical landmarks. The city's unique cultural heritage is at risk, and the cost of protecting it is immense. Or take Miami, where rising sea levels are causing saltwater intrusion into the freshwater aquifer, threatening the city's drinking water supply. This intrusion not only affects the availability of fresh water, but also damages the infrastructure, leading to costly repairs and adaptations. These are just 2 examples among many, stark reminders of the urgent need for action. The time to act is now. We must come together as a global community to address this crisis, to protect our cities, our heritage, and our future. The primary driver of rising sea levels is global warming. This phenomenon is not just a distant threat, it is happening right now, affecting ecosystems and human societies across the globe. As our planet heats up, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels, we are witnessing unprecedented changes in our climate. The combustion of coal, oil and natural gas releases vast amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, trapping heat and causing global temperatures to rise. Glaciers and ice sheets melt at an accelerated rate. These massive ice formations, which have existed for millennia, are now shrinking at alarming speeds. The loss of these glaciers not only contributes to rising sea levels, but also disrupts freshwater supplies for millions of people. This melted ice flows into the oceans, causing sea levels to rise. The consequences are far-reaching and multifaceted. Higher sea levels lead to more frequent and severe coastal flooding, which can devastate communities and ecosystems. Coastal erosion intensifies, threatening infrastructure and displacing communities. As the sea encroaches on the land, homes, roads, and other critical infrastructure are at risk of being swallowed by the ocean. This not only leads to economic losses, but also forces people to leave their homes, creating climate refugees. Saltwater intrusion contaminates freshwater sources, impacting agriculture and human health. When seawater infiltrates freshwater aquifers, it renders the water undrinkable and unsuitable for irrigation, posing a severe threat to food security and public health. The delicate balance of marine ecosystems is disrupted, with potentially devastating consequences for marine life. Coral reefs, which are vital to marine biodiversity, are particularly vulnerable. As ocean temperatures rise and acidity increases, these vibrant ecosystems face bleaching and death, affecting countless marine species. The scientific consensus on global warming is overwhelming. Researchers around the world agree that human activities are the primary cause of recent climate change. This consensus is based on extensive data and rigorous analysis. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the leading international body for the assessment of climate change, has concluded with over 95% certainty that human activities are the dominant cause of observed warming since the mid-20th century. This conclusion is supported by thousands of scientific studies and represents the collective judgment of the world's top climate scientists. The IPCC's reports, based on thousands of scientific studies, paint a stark picture of the future if we fail to curb greenhouse gas emissions. These projections indicate that without significant action, global temperatures could rise by several degrees Celsius by the end of this century, leading to catastrophic impacts on natural and human systems. Sea levels are projected to rise by several feet by the end of this century, inundating coastal areas and displacing millions of people worldwide. This would lead to the loss of valuable land, increased flooding, and the displacement of entire communities, particularly in low-lying regions. The time to act is now. We must transition to renewable energy sources, reduce our carbon footprint, and implement policies that promote sustainability. By taking decisive action today, we can mitigate the worst effects of global warming and protect our planet for future generations. The plight of our coastal cities resonates with ancient tales of lost civilizations swallowed by the sea. Legends like that of Atlantis, a powerful island nation that vanished beneath the waves, have captivated the human imagination for centuries. These stories, once dismissed as mere myths, are now viewed by some researchers through a different lens. Could they be echoes of real events? Cautionary tales passed down through generations about the devastating power of the sea? Consider Plato's account of Atlantis, written in the 4th century BC. He describes a technologically advanced civilization that existed thousands of years before his time, destroyed in a single day and night of cataclysmic floods. While Plato's writings are the most well-known source, similar stories of floods and lost continents appear in myths and legends from around the world. These tales, often featuring advanced civilizations brought low by their hubris or the wrath of the gods, offer a chilling parallel to our current predicament. Are we, like the Atlanteans, on the brink of a self-inflicted catastrophe? Section 4. Whispers from the Deep, the Legend of Kumari Kandam. Another intriguing tale emerges from the Indian subcontinent, the legend of Kumari Kandam, a vast, technologically advanced civilization that is said to have flourished in the Indian Ocean before being submerged by the sea. Tamil literature dating back centuries speaks of a landmass south of India known as Kumari Kandam, home to a sophisticated civilization that excelled in art, literature and science. The ancient Tamil epic, Silapatikaram, describes this lost continent in detail, including its cities, kings and cultural achievements. According to legend, Kumari Kandam was swallowed by the sea in a series of catastrophic events. Some accounts speak of a gradual submergence, while others describe a sudden cataclysmic flood. While mainstream historians have often dismissed Kumari Kandam as myth, the persistence of the legend and its detailed descriptions in ancient texts have fueled speculation about a real lost civilization in the Indian Ocean. Section 5. Atlantis and Kumari Kandam. Fact, fiction, or a bit of both? The question of whether Atlantis and Kumari Kandam existed as described in legends continues to be debated. These stories have fascinated historians, archaeologists, and enthusiasts for centuries, sparking countless theories and discussions. Skeptics argue that these stories are purely mythological, products of human imagination, and the universal fear of natural disasters. They believe that the tales of Atlantis and Kumari Kandam are allegories meant to convey moral or philosophical lessons rather than historical facts. However, proponents of the lost civilizations theory point to intriguing evidence that suggests a kernel of truth behind the legends. They argue that myths often have a basis in reality, and that these stories could be distorted memories of real events passed down through generations. Geological studies have revealed evidence of submerged land masses in both the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, lending credence to the possibility of ancient civilizations existing in these regions. These findings suggest that significant land masses may have been lost to rising sea levels and tectonic activity. Furthermore, archaeological discoveries in recent decades have unearthed evidence of sophisticated ancient cultures that predate conventional historical timelines. These findings challenge our understanding of human history and suggest that advanced civilizations may have existed long before previously thought. The discovery of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, for example, a complex of megalithic structures dating back to 10,000 BC, challenges our understanding of early human civilization. This site, with its intricate carvings and massive stone pillars, suggests that humans were capable of complex social and architectural achievements much earlier than previously believed. While the debate continues, the legends of Atlantis and Kumari Kandam serve as powerful reminders of the dynamism of our planet and the transience of human civilization. These stories captivate our imagination and inspire us to explore the mysteries of our past. They remind us that even the most advanced societies are not immune to the forces of nature. The tales of lost civilizations encourage us to reflect on the fragility of our own world and the importance of preserving our history for future generations. As technology advances, new methods of exploration and analysis may one day provide definitive answers to these age-old questions. Until then, the legends of Atlantis and Kumari Kandam will continue to intrigue and inspire, blending fact, fiction, and the enduring human quest for knowledge.